Hey guys, Extreme here today with a review for you of the Google Nexus 7 tablet. Now right here I have the 8GB model, and if you don't know already, this is the new tablet made by Google to go along with their Nexus line, along with the Galaxy Nexus phone and the Nexus Q media streaming device, and this is now their new tablet. Now for only $200 you can get an 8GB model that allows you to use the quad-core graphics, the quad-core processor that's on board, the Tegra 3 processor, and with 12-core graphics, 1 GB of RAM. And let me tell you, this device runs really fast, and it is really nice, and it's running the newest version of Android, which is Android 4.1 Jelly Bean, and it is overall just a really good tablet, not just for $200, but for a general 7-inch tablet. So let's just take a quick look around the device in the physical device. Again, that's 7 inches across the screen. It's a more widescreen device than an iPad, where it's more squared off. So it actually does feel more comfortable in the hands. I really like the 7-inch form factor, just because one, it's more lightweight, and two, it's just you can hold it easier in one hand than an iPad, for example. I really do like this device. My dad owns an iPad, and both are very, very nice devices. This one's the best, in my opinion. The best that it would be the only choice, even if I had the $500 to get a nice one. My choice for an Android device, and if I really wanted an iPad, I'd go get one. But I really am satisfied with this. It doesn't, for 7 inches, it does not feel like a phone at all, as in too small like a phone. It definitely has that tablet feel, and I can definitely experience this with gaming and on the web. It just is a lot better of experience than using a mobile phone. Now also at the top here, there's a 1.2 megapixel camera, and no camera on the back, as you notice, but it does have the soft touch grippy back, which is actually really nice. Again, really good to hold with one hand. And at the bottom here is a speaker that just pumps out enough sound for you to use without headphones. Unlike a phone where it's kind of crappy, this actually does do a pretty decent job. On the bottom, of course, there's of course, I say of course, like there's a micro USB port, which I do like, because then I can just use the same cord for my phone and the tablet now. Also a 3.5mm headphone jack. On the left side, there is a microphone here. So if you're holding the device in landscape view, you're not going to be blocking the microphone that's on top for when you're holding it in portrait view. So there's two microphones on the device, so that you're not blocking one. Also, on the left side of the device, there's also a spot for you to put it into a specially made dock. As you can see, there's like a 4-pin connector type deal going on there. And on the right side, there's the power button. It's not really showing up too well. Oh, there we go. The power and the volume up and volume down buttons. Now, this running Android 4.1 Jelly Bean, it does have face unlock, which is you turn on the device and it pops up like there, and it's not going to recognize the camera as a face, but you get the idea. You can also set it up to do it so after it recognizes your face, you just blink your eyes to unlock the device, which is still really, really cool. So really, I like to consider Jelly Bean the Apple-ish experience for Android. And what I mean by that is users who are used to the easiness of iOS but really want the freedom that Android has to offer. This is the best that you can get. This is, besides the software, also the hardware, the big size that allows you to more accurately push buttons on the display than a phone. The fast processor, and I think I failed to mention that it's a 1.2 gigahertz processor, and I'll correct myself later if I'm wrong, maybe in an annotation. But also on the software, it's just Google has set up Project Butter, which goes alongside Android 4.1 Jelly Bean, to have a really smooth feel, and it doesn't get all buggy like Gingerbread or Froyo has in the past, and it really just offers a smooth, clean feel and look that Apple has to offer and that now Android has to offer. So I'm really happy to see that. Also, one thing I really like about Android 4.1 is a program that's built into the software called Google Now. And if we hold down the home button, you'll see we can slide this ball of light here up to Google, and that'll open up Google Now. And I can say, Google, how's the weather at Portland?
It's 74 degrees and partly cloudy in Portland.
So it's going to give me the weather and these cards that they call it, and that's just little sections of information that it will read off to you. So you can just say Google from the Google Now page, and it will open up the availability for you just to say a simple question. Now, it's not like Siri in the way that you can, it has a little bit of humor. You can be like, how are you? And it would be like, oh, I'm fine. Or, I don't know, whatever. I don't use the iPhone for it, so maybe a bad example. But I really like how Google Now, or just 4.1 in general, has a new voice dictation. So, or a voice text-to-speech, excuse me. So that now it doesn't sound all robotic and droid-like. It sounds more human, as you just saw in the example of the weather. It read off the weather information, and it sounded more human than a robot, and I really liked that it was much clearer to understand, much easier to understand. You can also ask it flight-related questions. You can ask it, well, Delta Flight 773.
Delta Airlines 773 from Portland to Atlanta is on time and arrives in 1 hour, 22 minutes.
Huh. Okay. So, yeah, that just gives you flight information. You can just say an airline and say the flight number, and it will give you that information. Now, you can see a similar thing if you don't have Android. If you go into Google and you type in Delta Flight blank, it will actually give you a similar card-like thing where it will give you just the information that you need to know. Who is the President of the United States?
The President of the United States of America is Barack Obama.
So again, another card feature. It just came off of Wikipedia, so it read that article and just put that information up there. So that's Google Now. Also, it has a new task manager, so you can just swipe tasks away, and you can go back into recent apps. Those are the apps that are running in the background. And I really do like that feature. I use it all the time. Other than that, there's some new widgets and stuff that I don't use that much. I just put some widgets on there just to have it more like an Android experience versus an iOS experience. Now we can go ahead and try to fail at dead trigger for the sake of showing you how the graphics are on here, if it will show up well enough. Oh cool, I got a daily reward. Let's see. Sorry, move the camera there. Okay, so move around here. I'm going to try and find a spot for good examples of graphics. As you can see, the dust flying around in the air. So it's really awkward. I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, well, enjoy the show. Ah! Alright. Oh, door's open. Wonderful. No. Okay, I died. Well, that was just to show you the graphics of the graphic capabilities of this device. It also shows rain really well. And again, with the 12-core graphics, or the 12-core GPU and the quad-core, sorry, I had to move the camera, and the quad-core CPU, it allows a really nice gaming experience, and you can actually bump up the graphics much more than on a cell phone for playing that game in particular. And I really do like this device. Also, if you notice, I have the camera launcher app on there. That is something that does not come stuck with the device. You have to actually go into the Play Store and download it, and it's basically a shortcut because for whatever reason, they did not include a camera application shortcut built in, so you actually had to download it from the Play Store to actually access just the camera. So there's panorama, video, and photo, and you can do Google now, or sorry, Google Groups, video chatting group, and everything Google, of course, as you would expect. I got the 8 GB model here because everything's done in the cloud for me. I have 50 gigabytes on Box.com. You can use Dropbox. You can use the Google Play Music to stream your music, Google Play Movies to play your movies, Google Magazines, Google Books, Calendar, everything for me is pretty much done online. The only that is really taking up the space is the applications themselves. And I'm not going to be using all 8 gigs of that. That's why I didn't get the 16 gig. That and the availability of the 8 gig was more so than the 16 gigabyte. And I got this at Office Depot because it was available. So that was a review for you of the Google Nexus 7 tablet. Hope you enjoyed. I really do recommend this device. It's a 9 out of 10 for me. The only reasons why it's not a 10 out of 10 is because it doesn't have expandable storage, and a rear camera isn't really that much of an issue for me. It's really that expandable storage. Even though I just told you I do everything in the cloud, it still would be nice. I'll admit, it still would be nice to have to or to be able to download all my music, but I'm not going to complain. I'm going to be using this device on a network, and I always am. I can turn my phone into a mobile hotspot. I can use it there, and I can just stream music from there or use my phone for music. So it really does. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to rate, subscribe, and comment. Peace.